The 12 ounces. Sure look bigger than 12 to me.
You say it look bigger than 12 ounces?
Yeah,
Sure.
it looked like about 16 ounces.
It could be. It doesn't look like a small bottle.
Right. It says 12 ounces.
Hmm. Well,
Serving, serving size. 12 fluid ounces.
well, welcome back to the show, episode 141, Grandpa.
Okay.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it live. What you got today?
Oh, I got some.
See you wearing a polo. Look
I
at you
got some.
flexing the guns.
What do you say?
See you flexing the guns. You got the arms out.
Oh, I wish I had some guns under them. A few wrinkles you might want to see.
Whoa. So what you got? You got is that the growler from last week?
Yeah, yeah. This is premium Pilsner, Pilsner beer.
Okay. I'm,
Oh, with the pretty top on it, the snapback top.
well, it's
I'm trying to
looks
read.
familiar.
Can't seem to read the volume.
Well, as is tradition, I'll ask you what are you gonna rate it before you drink it?
Oh well, this automatically starts at a 6. Automatically,
Okay,
6 and above.
6 and above. Okay.
And above.
Well, today, Grandpa, I got some.
5.8 fluid ounces of alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
You say?
I said, like I was saying, I got today. This is something called fine apple. Fine apple.
No. Well, you find all them different beers?
I just be picking random stuff from the store. It's
Hmm.
called Fine Apple. It's a hard cider made with Michigan apples and 100% pineapple juice. It is from Black Grass Cider Works.
Okay, that
It's,
ain't really beer then, eh?
it's an alcohol beverage. It's a
Alcohol,
drink.
but not beer.
It's a cider. Cider's like it's not beer per
Not
se.
beer. I mean,
Okay,
the only reason I mentioned that because
we
I
got
know
it.
that.
Okay, well,
Hello?
any Grandpa, you on the show? You want to answer the phone? But anyway, it's from Black Grass Cider Works, 6.5% alcohol. Uh, let me see. Let me see if it has any other literature on the can. No, I guess this is made in Michigan. So trying it out.
Okay.
Let me think. I like apple juice, so I'm gonna start at a pre-ranking of 7, just off the strength of that.
7.
Yeah, you know, it,
Even 7 and don't even know what it tastes like.
that's the point. It's the preconceived tasting.
Oh,
The
okay.
smell kind of smells like pear a little bit, so that's interesting. Maybe pineapples and apples combined to smell like pear.
Mm.
Give it a little taste. It tastes like pears too.
Oh, yeah?
Hmm. Maybe it's pear, and they just said it pineapple because
Oh,
they don't think they can sell.
maybe it's pineapple pear.
Maybe they don't think they can sell pears, but they can sell pineapples and apples.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it'll stay at 7. It's good, not great.
Okay.
It has a pretty dry taste too, like as you drink it. So it's not overly sweet or anything. That's pretty good though. It's a nice warm weather beverage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We you gonna give your opinion about the grocery from last week too?
Yeah. I'm just curious though. How come this bottle looks so big?
That's just the way they blow the glass.
That look more than 12 ounces, though.
Well, I mean, you know how glass volume stuff is like based on how you shape it. So I mean,
Yeah, but it looks like it's much wider.
could
Oh
be.
well. Oh well, maybe I'll.
And remember,
Some
they don't fill it. They don't fill it all the way to the top.
it's still a 6, man.
Yeah, well, they don't fill it all the way to the top either. So that's probably why they say the rate is 12 ounces. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's a good 6 there, and
Uncle Pooh Bear
yeah,
in the
he
shoddy food.
eating.
Oh man, how are you doing, Uncle Pooh?
How you
I'm
doing?
good. I'm good. How y'all doing?
What you got
Yeah.
today?
Uh, got a new beer today.
Okay.
Secret beer hug.
Okay, what's that?
It's a IPA, a
Okay.
hazy IPA. Oh man, I don't really like hazies. Sometimes it's got to be done right.
Well, we gotta rate every beer.
Got to rate every beer.
It's
It's
this.
6.5%.
Okay.
Crystal had it. She said it was pretty good. I got my Alabama glass.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Bam, roll tide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
We
sir.
gonna see. What's that Pops got?
Oh, Grandpa got his growlers from last week. He just refilled the bottle.
Yeah.
I got this thing called pineapple today.
Got that
Oh,
full
nice.
top on there.
Hey, it smells good.
Mm.
Okay, what's it smell like? What's your pre-rating it?
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay. You started with Grandpa started today.
Yeah, and Josh was starting out
Yeah.
at 7. Of course, I think he kind of exaggerated a little bit.
No. When I had them, I know. But I ain't never had this. We on.
I thought with Joshua, what he had.
Oh, you started with a 7?
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
5, didn't he?
no, I said 7.
7.
I didn't say no 7.5.
What's the name of it again?
The one Uncle Pooh Bear has?
Both of y'all.
Yeah, Secret Bear Hug.
And I got pineapple.
Pineapple.
Mixture of apple and pineapple.
Oh, this is a Goose Island beer.
Yeah.
Man, y'all should buy a steak in Goose Island, man.
Yeah, I ain't even know, right? But we were saying, like, man, we don't got no like regular beers in the house. We just got all these big beers that's been aged because we just ain't been buying like regular beer. So Chris went out and grabbed a variety pack today. So we
Y'all got it. Y'all should
regular beer.
y'all should reach out to the Goose Island folks as many times as we done brought them on the show.
Yeah, we always in that. But this is solid. I'll stick with my 6. It's a smooth beer. It's pretty light. It's refreshing. It's definitely hazy. Got a little orange twang to it.
Okay.
It just disappears. Just I would say it's like a session IPA, like meaning like you just cut the grass. It's super hot day. You know, you hot, you sweaty. You just want a cold beer. It's a nice cold beer.
That's a good and there's there's a place in the world for that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely a place in the world for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off camera. I'm here. I'm just off camera. I gotta smash this food. I gotta eat, or even this 6.5 gonna get me.
Got that Chinese food.
Nah, I was eating brunch.
Brunch on a Tuesday.
How do you go off camera?
Oh, he just took himself off camera. You can like shut off your camera for a second. Grandpa, like, I want to do that.
Where you shut it? I'm just curious. So where you shut it off at?
It's an option on your settings.
Oh, down at the bottom.
Oh, don't touch it. Nope, leave it alone. No, Grandpa, no.
Don't touch it.
Grandpa, no. We in a live show. Don't do that.
I'm just trying to find out where you get off camera.
He about to do it, Uncle Pooh. It's gonna be boy. Where can we just have a normal show?
Mute. Stop.
See?
Camera.
No, see, look at him. He can't help himself. Uncle Pooh, you still there?
I'm here.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
do it.
I thought you muted yourself too.
No, I'm here. You
Okay.
keep my name.
Hey, look at what he got down there for a name.
Oh yeah, incremental Freddy.
Incremental Taylor. Hey, my word there. Hey, you becoming a believer?
Absolutely not.
Really not.
Now that y'all done brought it up, man, we might as well
Well,
get today's
So
topics.
you think this is
yeah, after what happened in Buffalo, how you going?
Yeah, Grandpa.
I said incremental change. I didn't say a full change.
That's going backwards though, Grandpa. They hunt black people.
This the same old thing, different day.
Yeah,
No, now we got a voice. You used to hear. You used to
Grandpa. Let me stop you because you're gonna make a bad argument, Grandpa. Like they're actively hunting black people again.
I said, but
That's not a change. That's going backwards. And us having a voice don't mean nothing. They're gonna shoot you.
Yeah, before you used to shoot you when you didn't have no voice. That's the progress, man.
We had a voice back then, and people were still shooting.
We didn't tonight. We wouldn't even know. There was someone that got
No,
shot.
I mean we actually did have a voice. We were more together as a community and building stuff up. Now we're scattered, and they're picking people off. This is like how many mass shootings of black people has it been since the in the past 5 years? It's been a lot, but like this is like there was this happened. The Buffalo shooting happened, and there was also another shooting. What, in California?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, like I can't get on the incremental ride today. Like it's it's the same tropes though. It's the same things that's been happening. Dude walks up, kills a bunch of black people. Police apprehend him without hurting him. It's wild. And like the dude streamed it. He's like Grandpa. He streamed it like we're streaming this show right now, as he was killing people. And he walked up on a white. Yeah, what?
He was streaming it?
Yes.
I didn't hear that, but I know he
the video's online.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. He streamed it as he was on Twitch.
How you get to Twitch?
Hold on, Grandpa. Let's focus on the active. So like he streamed it on Twitch as he was killing people, and there was a part of it where he was on video. He rolled up. He thought he saw somebody move, and it was a white dude, and he apologized to him.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, so I mean, this is, and like you saw all the symbols that he had on his gun and the words and stuff. Like this is premeditated, planned activity, and this is like it's starting to look like it's coordinated attacks because they're having multiple in a day doing the same thing. This report, a part of the report was saying that.
What do you mean,
like that he had plans and stuff that they found, and like he had posted some stuff somewhere a while back and everything, and no one did anything about that.
Yeah, I know he had what do you call him? I can't think.
A plan, a manifesto.
Manifesto.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that he filmed what he was doing. And that's all. I know he had a camera. They said he brought a camera with him, but I didn't have any idea that he did some online filming. Eh?
Yeah, he streamed the whole thing. It was live. Like people could watch it happening as it was happening.
And that's on TV.
It's on the internet.
On the internet.
I mean, on the internet, yeah.
Yeah. But that's where we are today. Like, you know what? When are we going to see these?
But that's where we've been.
No. I mean, like that's the show topic today. I mean, it's like when are we going to get our stop black hate crime bill? Like when are we getting that? You know, that says right there. You know, stop black hate. When are we going to get just funding just for us to develop our places without having strings attached? You know, when is that going to happen? Because like you know, it's ridiculous. You see people get. It's like no one should be getting attacked, but like obviously, you know, it's different rules for different people because he didn't say it. The dude said, "I'm killing black people." The purpose of it, he didn't put on his gun what he's doing, and people are still trying to do the whole lone wolf routine or this is just a troubled person, and it's not. This is a clear manifest. This is a clear path, a clear plan, a clear. It's a religion at this point. It's a clear religion that they're following, and
But
they
did you
prey by
know that?
preying on us.
Did you know that he didn't just pick that store that he had been there before and cased the store? Anybody know that?
Well, most crime is done in places
He
you've
had
been.
been there
Like
for about
people
a
are
couple of
near.
months ago. Went and looked at the store and
Yeah,
the
people did.
surroundings. In fact, the guard, they run him out because he kept coming back in, getting different, surroundings.
That's
Have
a
you heard
That's a failure on their part. They should have been like had him arrested.
I ain't
that?
been watching none of the news, so I don't know what they're saying. All I know is they were saying that, you know, mental illness. That's the reason he did this. You know, the same old shit, man. They always pitching at us, right?
Well, no
Somebody come
mental
out and
illness about
attack
that.
us. That was an individual lone wolf. You know, he was mentally disturbed. It's not a bigger conspiracy. It's got to be a conspiracy when police just murder black people for breathing, but they can arrest white people with automatic weapons that's already killed people. It's got to be something going on.
Man, they didn't even throw. I didn't when they showed him getting walked out from like when he got arrested. I didn't see him get thrown on the ground.
He
I
wasn't
didn't.
even bleeding.
I didn't see no. His
Well,
his shirt wasn't even wrinkled. Like that was the problem. Like ain't a smudge on it. I'm like, what are you doing?
hey, prior to that, the young man from Illinois that went to Wisconsin killed two people with AR-15, which wasn't his. Well, he ain't supposed to have no gun, and he gets off with self-defense.
He on a book tour or something right now. He getting paid.
This what's happening, self-defense. He in another state with a gun illegal to have. He killed people, and they make him a hero. Give him a job in Washington.
Yeah.
That might be what's going to happen. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it's sad because like, well, I saw a video of a man who was at the scene or whatever the other day, and he was like talking the same forgive and forget tropes that you see black people. They always find one to put on camera to say this type of stuff, and then he goes off and tries to hug the camera woman, not camera woman, but the reporter, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like this is not the time or the place for that. Like we got to stop having. I don't know, man. Like it's weird to me that there's always one black person they find on the scene who's like always quick to forgive from jump. And I'm like, how do you even rationalize that? Like where do you get that mentality where that's what you want to do and that's okay?
What you say, Pops? Where they get it from?
That's a good question. Saying it's okay. I don't know where they're getting it from though. But that ain't
Well,
what people say.
Grandpa, isn't it essentially what you've been saying?
The good book say eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Not it's okay.
Well, you know, you always got people that identify with their oppressors, right? Like we can
Right.
identify that. We can,
Exactly.
all these educated folks, pontificate on these things. You can identify that in other people that happens to, like
What do they call Norwegian? No. Identify with your oppressor.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm.
Yeah, you can identify. We can call it what it is when it's other folks and it happens, but we don't call it what it is when it's black people, right? Because white psychologists don't even view us the same way. And America don't want to admit what it is, right? You got a people who don't got their own self-best interest in heart, and they're just trying to identify with their oppressor to get some additional compensation, get some additional coins, which they're gonna get, right? Which it happens. That's how it go down. So that's what they're doing, and that's where they come from. And it's always some of them out there, But this is why we need our own media outlets so that we can say and voice the words that we need to hear, and identify things from angles that come from our perspective, that got our best interests at heart. But we be listening to other people that got ulterior motives, and they talk sweet, the sweet of their lips, right? They talk sweet, but they don't have your best interests at heart. So that's kind of where we fail Then we just push everything to the politicians as if they've ever done us favors. Like it's just really it's you gotta laugh to keep from crying, right? I was listening to we'll go into that later, but I've been listening to Dick Gregory yesterday. So
Well, what were you listening to about? What was he saying?
well, the like history though, like in kind of in reference to what we're talking about and making change, right? Like, because police brutality is still a thing. You know, our community is just under assault. It just always has been. And he was talking about Dr. King and in what ultimately became the bus boycott, right? And Dr. King's motivation from Gandhi as his nonviolent approach. And he's like, what's left out of the Gandhi conversation is, yeah, they had the nonviolent approach, and you know that really seemed to be effective. That's what's pushed and that's what's preached. But he's like, the other side of that is they decided not to buy any English goods, so they was pushing all that shit into their country, and they refused to spend their money on it, no matter how much they had to suffer as a result of it. And that's ultimately what broke the British Empire. Not the fact that they could sit down and take an ass whooping, right? They was gonna take that anyway, right? So it's the fact that now all this shit that you've been bringing on, you've been depending on this money and this income stream, and it's no longer there. This area is no longer viable. And here in America, we don't talk about that angle. That our only recourse, you're not about to sit down and just fight, right? You obviously not going to just take a beating long enough to get some sense into these people. So the only recourse you have is to shut off your money. But everybody keeps worried about being inconvenienced, right? I'm going to be inconvenienced if I don't just get on Amazon and order this, or if I don't just, you know, whatever, or I ain't got the new Jordans, or, you know, it's sundress season, or whatever the case may be, right? You're going to be inconvenienced. This last diatribe. So Dick Gregory says he's talking about one of the protests that was going on. I forget if it was Alabama or where exactly they was, and he was there in the kind of there, right? And he has a friend who's a police. He's a police officer, but he's like ranked, right? He's got a higher rank, but he's a black guy that's been passing as a white boy. So they think he a white boy, but every Thursday him and Dick Gregory meet for whiskey, right? So he say this particular Thursday, the protest is coming up. He say he meets with his friend and he's like, where's the whiskey? We supposed to meet with whiskey. You ain't bring the whiskey today. He was like, nah, I ain't bring no whiskey because I got to tell you something. They done bust in 300-400 white boys to come bust y'all heads at this protest and kill y'all. But they gonna block off. They just sent us, the police, to block off the media and the press so they can't get access to see this happen, right? So the next day comes, hey Chris, the next day comes, and Dick said he told him, I'm not gonna tell them, because he's like, tell your people, go home, you know, they gonna kill y'all. So he said, I'm not gonna tell them. And the guy's like, you crazy, you can't tell them. He said, look, man, we came here to die. We came to die. That's what it's at. We don't want to die, but if we got to, that's what we're gonna do, because we can't continue handling these circumstances of what's happening with us, right? But like they showed up, the police officer sees him, and he says he's crying because he's like showing up. They blocked off the police, and then here go the protesters. Anyway, they live, right? But I think the point is they came to die, and we won't be inconvenienced. It's crazy.
Hey, Auntie. Thank you for joining the show. This is the illustrious.
Thank you for having me.
The illustrious Aunt Crystal.
Ladies
You
and
know, you
gentlemen.
were speaking about the color thing with Dick Gregory and the guy pretending to be white passing the line.
Mm-hmm.
You remember I told you a few years ago about an incident that happened at the health spa? Yeah, there's something people got to understand. Black people aren't just one color. They named us black people. We come in every color. You come I got some people you wouldn't know what race they belong to, you know. But this particular incident was where the guy was talking to a black guy, and he thought he was talking. He thought the black guy was black, but he wasn't black. I mean, he wasn't white. He was black. And he was talking about black people. And then the guy says, because he came and told me about it. He told me, wait a minute, man, I'm black. And the guy said, no, you ain't. So there's something there. For color, people, they think that to be black, you got to be black, period, you know, a darker shade. But we come in all colors. Right? They say there's so many ounces of blood, and what, 1 ounce of blood is in you, you black?
One drop.
One drop? We got one drop. Now, how can somebody just say, I'm white and you, and they don't know what they are?
Really? You talking about colorism.
That's what they said, one drop. They don't know what they are.
Yeah, but it's really how you identify. Because, you know, if somebody's passing for white and they just identify as a white person, then, you know, they white.
No, that's
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's a good point to it. It's just another part of the caste system mentality, just to call it something else. But I mean, there's a lot of gatekeeperism in, like, not just our community, but in other people's communities. Like, for example, what was it? The past year or so, Mexico just finally recognized Black Mexicans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all over.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean, just recognize them?
So you know how when you select, how's a good way of saying this without getting in trouble? So there's darker skinned Mexican people in Mexico. Always has been, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there always been black people or darker skinned people all over the world. But I believe the way it is legally termed now, it's not just like because you're from Mexico, you're Mexican. You can put on this, like, I'm Afro Latino or something, or on the census. It's just the way they label it now.
Gotcha.
Like, you don't just, like, it's kind of like when they came here, like, up until the 1980s, the only thing in the census options were black and white. So they finally.
Okay, so since you mentioned that, can anybody on here, explain something to me that when we're asked what our race or ethnicity is on any documentation, there's also that option to choose whether you have any Latin origins at all. Why is that? They don't ask about anything else but Latin.
I can always speculate.
You said they asked what now?
I'm saying that whenever you fill out any documentation and they ask you what your race or ethnicity is, so they'll say black, white, what it'll say, black, non-Hispanic origins. Why do they ask specifically about Hispanic and Latino origins as opposed to asking about anything else? They don't ask about any other origins except whether we have Hispanic origins or not.
I can only speculate on that. Like,
I would love to hear some speculations, because I was thinking, I forgot what I was filling out recently, and I'm like, why do they ask that? They don't ask about African. They don't ask about European, Indian. They don't ask any of that. They ask about Hispanic, and it's on almost everything.
I'll answering it by posing this question, or this not question, but this statement. It's the same reason why they don't ask, are you of Canadian origin? They both border. They both border America, but only one is an undesirable border. You got people coming back and forth from Canada all day. No one asks the question. No one asks, are you from Canada? Like, because I'm in Detroit. Like, no one asks, oh, are you from Canada or anything? That doesn't even matter. Like, are you an immigrant from Canada? Doesn't even come up. But like you said, you know, are you of Latin? Are you a Hispanic? There you go, Hispanic or not Hispanic. And it's because that's the boogeyman of the immigrant age that we're in right now. No matter what, whenever people talk about immigration reform, most things that pop in their mind are Latino people for the most part, or that's what they show us imagery. They show the people at the border trying to cross. It's always that. It's never people coming in on planes from Europe. It's never people coming in from boats from wherever. It's always 9 times out of 10 you see Latino face, and that's kind of the boogeyman for what immigration people want to do, for better or for worse, right?
Okay.
And I think that's, in my mind, why that's on there, because of that. It's
Okay.
because they want to be like, well, when people talk about these immigrants coming here to take our jobs, they want to put a face on it so you can know who to hate.
Okay. We received that. I just thought about that the other day. Like I said, I can't remember what I was filling out, but I was just like, why do they ask that all the time?
They do
All the
ask
time.
that all the time.
Huh?
They do ask that all the time.
Yeah. I'm like, it used to be like back in the day, it was like black, white, Hispanic, Indian. Like they would leave it to that, but it's like how they group the non-Hispanic origin with other races now throws me off.
I
They will
was
argue, huh?
also going to say, like, if one of our Latino or Latinx, however you want to call yourself, whatever the proper term is, if anyone who's watching this in the comments, leave a response, because
Yes, please.
because I definitely am curious about that too.
Yes, please.
But what were you saying, Auntie? I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, that's all I had to say. Like it just threw me off because I don't even remember what I was filling out, but I don't know, it just caught my eye. So I figured I'd bring it to the intellectuals on the stage. So just get input.
Well, Auntie, we were talking about the Buffalo shootings and the hunting of our people,
Mm-hmm.
and how the same rhetoric's coming up again, along with blah blah, the stuff we see all the time.
Sure.
Whenever this happens, and we were just talking about like how like this one was a little bit different because he live streamed it as he was doing it, right?
Wow.
Did you hear about that part?
So when I tell you I do not watch the news, I only know about this shooting because I had a client mention it yesterday and one of my girlfriends mentioned it this weekend. But I have not, really dug into it. It honestly stresses me out too much. It frustrates me, because they sent an article this morning about, the whole thing. I think not an article, Sean King posted on IG about it. And I couldn't even read all of it because it just reminded me of what's that boy name? Dylan Roof? Dylan, whatever his name.
Yeah.
Huh?
Dylan Law.
Yeah, him. It just made me think of that, on how they could openly, intentionally kill so many Black people and be treated so kindly and so fairly.
Yeah.
Just from the little part I saw from Sean King's post, and I just had to close it. And all I said was, "That's what I'm getting about this place."
When this young man that killed these people, these 10 people the other day, they give him a chance. They says, "You surrender," and he put his hand on it. He surrenders. In any other situation, that'd have been a black man. Ain't no way in the world he would never surrender because they would have killed him on the spot.
I just saw a video on IG.
A gun would have went off by accident.
Huh?
One of their guns would have went off by accident.
Right. Because they would have felt threatened. I just saw like I said, I just had turned it off. They just killed this. She was, I would say, elderly white woman. I don't know how old she was. I think they said she may have been 60-something, 70-something, with dementia, who had a knife, and they killed the mess out of her. She's obviously standing there confused and shook, and they kept yelling at her, "Drop the knife." You're yelling at her. She's confused. And that man shot her so many doggone times. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? Like, see, like, I keep joking that if reincarnation is real, I want to come back as a man and I'm get married asexually. But now I'm going to have to change that. I'm coming back as a white dude. That's who getting all the privileges. I can kill everybody and say I got affluentia because I'm used to just having privilege. I can kill everybody and say, "Oh, I'm just trying to preserve our race." I can kill everybody and say, "Oh, I just got mental health issues." Oh, I can do whatever I want, and nothing's going to happen to me. I'm going to be treated real well and get some Burger King. Why not?
And might get off on it.
Probably will get off.
The Rittenhouse or whatever the dude's name is.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about Rittenhouse. Yeah, He was a hero, man. They gave him a job in Washington, D.C. after killing 2 people.
And I'm gonna write a couple books too. And I'm gonna have a GoFundMe.
Speaking engagements.
Get some shirts made. I'm just gonna live off of all the trash I do.
Yeah, that's kind of the playbook.
That's the playbook. Which beer you got?
Oh yeah,
the Hazy Beer Hub.
Oh, you got the yellow can. Uncle Pooh got the blue one.
Yeah, it's a 4-pack. Well, variety pack with 4 different ones in there. The one he has is the one I actually had a couple weeks ago when I was at my girlfriend's house.
I think I wonder in the back of my mind, like it looked familiar.
Yeah, that's what I had. So I was just trying to find something different and something light. Now that it's getting summertime, some hot. So that's like exactly let's have some that we can just, because the big beers we have here, they make you hot. So just need some good summertime beer. Believe it or not, last week I had a Leinenkugel, a peach something.
We had that. We had that at the ballpark on Sunday when we went there to Grandpa. No, we had Leinenkugel though. The what is it?
I was wondering, did you have a beer, Pops?
Pops, did you have a beer at the game Sunday?
Yeah. He was just saying, what was the name of that beer? I had a different kind. I had a Coors, didn't I?
You had a Coors and a Leinenkugel.
Coors.
Yeah, he saw a Coors there in the new can. He was just like, man, I gotta have that
in the new can.
Y'all fed that to me. Coors is old now.
Oh my goodness, Pops.
In Colorado or somewhere out west.
I'm convinced you don't like your taste buds.
And let me tell you something though. It's funny. It was messed up, but it was funny. So we're sitting there, and we're sitting at the baseball stadium, and it's like 90. It's not 90. It's like 86 degrees. It's pretty warm, to say the least. The sun was out, so it was like this beating on our faces. And Grandpa has on black sweatpants, full length sweatpants, tube socks, like everything. Like, and he's like, "Oh, it's pretty nice out," and everything, right? And there's a guy who's a few seats away from us, and they had to take him away for heat stroke. Like the EMTs came and got him and everything. And Grandpa's like, "Oh, that's a nice breeze going by." It was just so funny because
I've been training for that day all his life.
Exactly. We always joke about how Grandpa be just sitting in his room, just hot, and like literally someone else is passing out because of the heat, and Grandpa's just chilling, got his little beer. He over here opening peanuts, just like just having a good old time. Oh, it was funny.
I probably got the heat on right now.
Oh yeah, what's the old saying? If you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen.
Get out the kitchen.
I wish I didn't like. It's one of those things where like I wasn't going to record it because it was messed up. Like the dude was fine. Like they got him. He's okay.
You recorded it?
No, I wanted to because just to show how funny it was, like in context. But then my better judgment grabbed me, and it was just like, this isn't what you want to do.
Thank you, better judgment. Because we understand the context of it, but the average person, but not. Even if you tried to put it on Facebook or on social media, period, and try to explain why you recorded, folks still wouldn't get it. Yeah, nobody gets it until they sits in the doggone hot room with Pops and understands. Like, okay, he's been training for this his whole life.
It's like walking up the stairs to Grandpa's. It's like what is it? The G-force when you go on when you on those jets and they go like Mach 1 and Mach 2, and you just get heavier and heavier. As you walk up the stairs, it gets hotter and hotter. You end up falling into the room with the last couple of steps.
It's like your forehead, then your nose, you can't breathe, and then it just, once you hit your chin, it just sucks everything else in. It's like you just done. Just
it takes all the energy out of you.
Yeah, look here.
Pops like, y'all just so extra.
Look here. So Joshua, this is the funny thing. One of the first times we stayed up there where I came to Michigan, we would sleep upstairs sometimes on the floor. And I had never seen that in the wall heat thing before. And Pooh would be asleep and I'm in there about to die. Like I'm like, I can't take it. But I've never seen this thing before, so I'm afraid to touch it because I don't want to blow the house. So I would have to crack the door in the middle of the night and like just put my face in front of it, like I can't sleep in here. Like what is happening in this household? Like
I gotta say, Auntie, that's you a real one. Like, see, these young girls don't know
on the floor pregnant.
See, let me. I'm gonna talk about my generation. See, like outside of my wife, I'm glad I'm out the dating pool. I'll be seeing some live stuff on the internet about people's and their dating opinions, but what they need to have and all this, that, and third. I'm like, let me tell you something. Now that I know what you just said, mine was pregnant in a furnace to be with Uncle Pooh Bear. Y'all ain't loyal. Y'all ain't out here. Y'all ain't never did. Y'all ain't never went through nothing. Because I can't, like, you probably could hard boil an egg in Grandpa's room.
Definitely.
Like that is how hot it is in there, and that. But
you definitely can fry the egg.
Like that's why Grandpa's living as long as he is. All the impurities are just coming out of his pores. nothing ever bad happens. Like if you could X-ray Grandpa's liver, he'd just be pristine because there's no toxins in his body.
You know, Pops was going to the spot just to talk to folks. He didn't need that sauna. He got a sauna. He got a sauna right there, but he was like, he just wanted to socialize. You can invite your friends over to come to your sauna. You can have your own spa.
I got some steam at the sauna too. You know.
Oh, I miss the steam room.
20
That's
minutes
what I like.
Sauna and then go in the steam room for 5 minutes and come back out to the sauna.
It's funny you bring up steam room because that's
hot weather.
Funny you said steam room because I got an ad yesterday because they you can buy like a localized steam room for your home now. And I'm going to say it's a lot less expensive than I thought it was going to be. I think it was like they had them between $1,800 and $3,000 for like the ones you can just put in like your bedroom. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, man, if I had some expendable little bit of money, like that's not bad. That's not crazy.
Yeah, I thought about putting one up here. You know,
you got one.
What?
I got the heat. I ain't got the steam.
Let's turn on the shower.
You probably could save some money just turn on the shower. You probably could just save some money, just close that door of the bathroom, turn on the shower, and just sit in there. That's the heat thing. Grandpa, like I ain't like Grandpa's like I want the real thing. Like Grandpa's like y'all talking broke. Like I want
talking broke.
I don't understand the language.
He's like y'all talking broke. I'm gonna get me a steam. Like let me tell you. So when I was over there like last week. He was just like, you know what, Josh, I'm gonna get me one of them tonals, you know, the tonal things and everything. And I'm like, where you gonna put it? He's like, I'm gonna put it right here on the wall in the basement. So he's like, he gonna have his new tonal, like he's gonna get the pro or whatever.
Yeah.
And he got his treadmill with the TV satellite thing on it. Grandpa ain't out here. Grandpa ain't living cheap. He's living life.
You don't do it small, baby.
Yeah, he gotta get it. That is the perfect device for Dad, the tonal.
That's why. You know why Grandpa got all that money? Because he's drinking dollar beers. He's trying to show us the way, and we're over here buying expensive beer. But you too can buy a tonal if you only spend $1 for an 8-pack of beer a week
instead of $1 an ounce. Yeah. Instead of $1 an ounce.
Yeah, $1 an ounce. If we just changed our drinking spending wage, because Grandpa's like it's you're just gonna drink it. Why would you spend so much money?
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. And Pops doesn't drink. Pops pours. It is impressive to watch Pops drink a beer. It truly is. Very impressive.
I'm missing half of what y'all saying. What did you say now?
Joshua said that you want to get that tonal, that wall exercise thing.
Yeah, I backed off it. I said I just be like I bought that $3,000.
So that's what he said. He said
they don't want to do right.
He said you can afford all of those equipments because you drink $1 beers.
Oh,
he said you saving all your money by drinking what you're drinking and just put into the equipment.
A lot of me getting all my money. I got to get away from that. And if I got some money in my pocket, it's only for the lottery because the rest of the people you give them a charger card.
Mm-hmm. The lottery, you still can't pay with a card, can you?
Charge the card on the machine. I don't want to get into that habit of putting my card in the machine. Next thing I know, they done took my card because
In the state of Michigan, you can. I know that for a fact. You can pay with a card to get lottery tickets and stuff.
I know you can. Yeah.
Yeah, Auntie was like, she was asking about it.
That's the only reason I ain't got one, because I use some money most of the time. So if I start getting in the habit of using my card, it can become addictive,
That's how I do when I go out. Like if I'm going out,
because you're always going for the big one to get that winner. You want to get that 800,000. They talking about winning $1 million. All I ever got from them, I'm broke me, is $100.
That's why when I do the same thing,
$100 win,
right?
Sad.
I do that same thing when I go out, Grandpa. I just go to the ATM, take out money, and that's all I'm spending that night. That's how it stops me from overspending. Because you got it, like that credit card or that card or whatever. It's like it's something different about mentally going to your pocket, looking at how much paper money you have left, and that sobers you up. That's like, all right, this is all I'm doing today.
You're right.
But a credit card or a debit card, you got access to the whole pot.
It's like free money.
Yeah.
You just
especially when it's on the company.
You recall that
little willy-nilly with that one.
Time about this Russian comedian. You remember this long time ago when he came to America and he got him a credit card, but he didn't know he had to pay it back. He was just spending left.
Whole thing.
You got to pay that back. I got to do what?
Right.
I'm about some of everything, man. This America's the greatest country ever was. Everything he bought, till he found out he got to pay for it.
That's horrible.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That is something. But I was to get back to our main topic was I like when after it happened, I kept seeing these images of people are talking about how in certain schools were predominantly white, some of them, not all, but this is just one was an example where they got kids they have a gun range at these schools. Like parents can bring their rifles up and this is elementary school, teach their kids how to shoot, and that makes me think about it was a town hall meeting I was watching digitally, and they were talking about gun control, and one of the dudes who's running for one of the seats was a black dude, was just like, he's like, I'm definitely for us having guns because we as black people, as you can see, are being hunted. Why would I give up my gun when I know the police aren't going to help me and that white people are out here shooting us in mass? And that made me think about, would I be comfortable with my son getting taught how to shoot a gun at school? And I was going to ask that question to y'all.
Honestly, yeah. Because at this point, it sucks. Like Ian says, nobody wants to live in a place where a gun is needed and everybody's carrying a gun, right? We actually just had this conversation Sunday. And my friend stepdad was saying how in places where everybody has a gun, things are a little different, because if I'm talking trash, you talking trash, but we know we both carrying, I'm not really gonna pull mine on you if I know you got one too. People try to slang their things when they feel like they're the big dogs, right? But it's frustrating as it is to be in a place where you feel like everybody is carrying or needs to carry. If everybody is carrying, we should too, and so should our kids. They should know how to protect themselves the same way we, talk about being safe around the pools, outlet conversations, don't put anything in the outlets, don't touch the stove, all of these things that could potentially hurt them. Why wouldn't we have that gun conversation? You know what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate that it's almost like you have to, because if you don't, then you are the sitting duck.
So I guess I got two follow-up questions to that. How soon is too soon for this education? Because these look like they may have been 7 or 8 year olds doing this. And the second is, sorry, I had to cough. The second is
here too.
The heat is changing the allergies, man. But the second is, when when do we as a community switch over, like, because it's mainly older black folks, the mindset of guns being a criminal activity? Like, there's your country grandparents who know, who have a different mindset for guns, and there's city old black folks like, I don't want no guns in my house, I don't want none of it. But that's not the society we're in anymore, because you're not just having it for in case someone breaks in your house. Now, I mean, like, as we see, people are going to the grocery store getting shot up. Like, you gotta we gotta change our mindset in mass about having these tools, and that's what they are, a tool for your defense. We gotta get our CPLs. We got people got to carry. It's got to when we're gonna have this conversation, having a massive change of mindset.
I don't know when. I think elementary school for me is too young for my child to learn firearm safety or how to use it. I would prefer them to be a little bit bigger, a little bit older, a little more mature. That is a good question. When should they know it? But I feel like I love when you see the stories on especially Black women who share how their fathers taught them how to use guns. Or like I have a client right now on everything. She does not leave the house without being strapped. We could be in the middle of, I meet with my clients every Saturday morning, and typically she's getting ready to go out, whatever, in her errands. And every week we see her cock that gun, make sure it's clear, put it on. So we all just laugh and we just ask her, like, you got your gun? And she lift up her shirt like, hell yeah. Or she throw it in her bag and keep on going. But she was like, my daddy taught me when I was a kid how to use this. Like, it's just normal. So it's like, if they are introduced to it early, then it's something normal. It's not a plaything. It's not like, they understand the risk. So, but it's just sad we even have to have this conversation, because everybody shouldn't be walking around with guns.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't have a temperament to carry a gun.
Exactly.
Because the minute you say something, they go for their gun. They ain't even trying to figure out what you said.
Exactly.
They're offended. And they want to shoot. Well, if you look around the world, this is the only country I know of that where all the murders, citizens committing murder. Most countries people can't even carry a gun.
Like even in Europe, their police officers, only certain police officers can carry weapons. Like if that's not part of your job, you're not going to just have a weapon on you at all times. What'd you say, Pops? I'm sorry.
I said England. Over in London, they shouldn't carry no guns.
Yeah, they have to sign out their weapons for certain assignments. Right. It's like, then that just makes sense. Just people walking around with guns.
They had a special force, that if they need a gun, they had certain police who carried guns, But the ordinary police, he didn't carry no gun. He just carried a stick,
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that, what is it? Oh, will you ever really say anything about this?
Yeah, I was waiting. I said he real quiet. He must really not agree.
Nah, I just
Fulberg got his arms out. He's like, I got all the guns I need right here.
Oh my gosh! Wow, really, Joshua?
Yeah, I mean, that's all the guns that I want. I'm like, so I feel you. I'm with the old black folks that's saying I don't want no guns. I don't want them around me. I don't want none of it. But I'm also with the reality that times are different and times have changed. So I understand why people want them. But it just lets me know it's time to go. Like, I don't want to be around war. I don't want to be around everybody shooting and like, man, this ain't gonna end well. This country has always been mentally off, and everybody walking around with all with all of the drugs that they own, the addictions that they have. Dad talking about the temperament, mix that in with the racism, and don't be black folks be having success. Don't be doing something that they can't do, man. I'm out of it. Listen, it's time to go. Yeah. Let's just go somewhere else and watch it from a distance.
I guess somebody mentioned that the little boy from this Buffalo shooting said he had been on social media before.
That's a man, Auntie. We ain't calling him a little boy.
You doggone right. This whole ass adult man who just killed all these black people and injured 13 more. They said that he had been talking somewhere before about wanting to do something or something like, and it's a sad thing. Like, D.L. Hughley talks about how here in America, how hard it is to get mental health help, but you can get a gun even with mental health issues.
Right. Like,
You
man,
can't go buy Biggie Smalls at Walmart, but you can get a gun and some ammunition.
Did he say that in relation to this?
No, that was been in his stand up years ago.
Oh, okay. Because I was
But
just
I
like,
mean,
I
it's
hope he
sad
didn't
that
say
he
it.
said that then, but it's so relevant still now.
I was like, I hope he didn't say that in relation to this because I don't want to hear nothing about mental health and white people killing black folks.
I mean, they
This is
gonna slam that down your throat anyway.
this is a religion to them. They are. I'm calling it that. They were indoctrinated. They've been taught this. He put it all in his gun. All these different things and symbols.
What we be missing when we, getting outraged about this or that is we act like the shooter isn't vertically connected. Like that mentality is vertically connected. It's not just people out here that's shooting. It's in law enforcement, it's in government, it's in the judicial system, it's in the fabric of the country. It goes up and down. So they playing team ball, but we not connecting the dots. We just be getting emotional. We're just trying to do something different.
I think I think we talked about this a while back or something, but to connect this to the whole teaching kids how to shoot guns in elementary school or whatever. Like, I think in our communities we should go back to having rites of passages. Like, this is like actively teaching you this is what you're to do when you become an adult, not just learning about money, not just paying bills, not just washing, cleaning your clothes and all that, do basic stuff, but also it should be like you got to go through something to prove that you're ready to be an adult, and your family has to have some way to do that.
So what happens if you don't prove it?
You're a child.
You can't be an adult.
Then
you can't vote. You can't go to the army and give your life.
Well, no, but I mean, like, mentally, we should go back to some type of way of accountability, of holding each other accountable. Of people saying, "Why are you judging me?" and stuff like that. Like, we should hold each other accountable and at least try to teach. So, for example, everyone knows that person in their family who they may be 4 years old, but people don't take them seriously because they either do some stupid stuff or they're constantly never prepared or whatever, right? That's the same thing to, you don't pass the trial, you're just not going to get the same benefits that we see as a family. You can go get a job, you can do whatever you want, but you didn't pass this rung of training life. Same thing as in school. Like, you don't pass your test, you got to get your GED, or like you age out. That's the same thing. Like, there's got to be some way to, I mean, maybe it doesn't have to be that, but there has to be some way to convey information so that we're at least trying to prepare these younger kids for life as it is now.
I mean, I get what you're saying, babe, but folks don't care, and that's just like when I say folks, and I just made the comment about the whole military thing. Like, there's nothing really set up in this country to prepare our young adults, young kids for anything real. It's really not. And that's unfortunate. They're not taught life skills. Hell, there's not even home ec in high school or in schools anymore. They don't even know how to damn cook. They took out damn cursive writing in the schools.
I remember that. I remember having to take cursive writing class.
I didn't even realize they took it out until years ago. I took the little one to the bank to make a deposit, and he signed his deposit slip. And the lady said, "Oh my gosh, he can write his name." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "But he writes in cursive." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "They don't teach that in school anymore." I didn't even know it because we taught that here in this household. It didn't matter what they were teaching in the schools, but just how they're taking away the basic things. So when you talk about, making sure that they're ready for adulthood and we got to do that on our own. Because at this point, I don't know what the hell they're going to teach in schools in the next 50 years by the time we are gone and our great-great-great-grands are in school. What the hell? Well, not in 50 years and great-great-great-great-grands, but you know what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. They don't want us to be prepared for anything. anything.
Damn, man, we not.
And we're not. And we're not.
Well, let's piggyback on this next week then. But I got actually have a meeting at 2. But let's do our final thoughts real quick. Grandpa, do you want to give your final thought?
No. I don't seem to have no fun.
That's fine. What about you, Uncle Pooh?
Man, I just say, man, we just got to do something different, man. Everything, whatever it is that we've been doing up to this point, it ain't working. So we need to try some different tactics, right? And prove at least to ourselves that we're not crazy. I was messing with incremental Freddy today, but that ain't working, man. We need something different.
What about you, Auntie?
I'm ready to get up out this joint. I'm tired of it. That's my final thought. Like, seriously. Like, I'm really just.
You say you ready for what now?
To get up out this joint, to get out this country, to move away.
Oh.
Because it's sad. It's sad that we can't go anywhere, we can't do anything, because this adds a different level of stress. Like, it's sad that, honestly, in my neighborhood, whenever I see white people just walking around the street, when I say I study their face, their attire, everything, because they scare me. If something happens to a neighbor, I want to be able to say, well, I saw this person in this neighborhood that looks like this had this on. They scare me. I don't want to live a life of fear. I don't. And that's how I feel. I'm uncomfortable. I am really uncomfortable. You know, just Sandra Bland, all this shit. Like, I remember the first time going home by myself after Sandra Bland, and I'm driving on the highway. I was so nervous. Like, please do not let me get pulled over for anything. I don't think I could mentally handle it. We live in fears. Black folks, we all have PTSD, point blank in the period. So that's my final thought. Everybody get some therapy, because we all struggling. That's my final thought.
It's just these times, they're so stressful now.
They're stressful.
And it's been like that for the last 4 or 5. I mean, we've always had some stress in our community. But for the last 4 or 5 years, every day, every day on TV is something, you know, kind of say that post-traumatic stress, it hits you big time, you know.
Yep.
Exactly. My final thought is, you know, it's keep your head on a swivel, black folks, because just you forgiveness and all that stuff is, you know, you just be prepared. That's your forgiveness. Be prepared, and don't be the next person we gotta see on TV. Like,
another hashtag.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to defend yourself. Have a mentality it's you versus them, because they coming for you
by any means necessary.
And just be safe. Love you guys. I gotta go to work.
Me
too. I gotta make Dame Dash sad because I'm working for somebody else.
Hey, make the donuts, man.
See you guys.
All right. See you later.